Welcome back to your daily dose, everybody, and thank you so much for always liking mine and Casey's posts. If you guys don't already, I actually haven't done this in a while. Casey's Instagram is right here if you want to give her a follow. But today we're going to be talking about our cruise that we just had on the one and only Carnival Liberty. This is going to kind of be the good, the bad, the ugly, and it's ultimately going to probably answer the question, is this a ship for you that you ultimately might want to experience or you might not want to experience? So I invite you guys to just listen, and we do have some questions from you too, but we want to tell you what we like, what we didn't like, and kind of just a whole experience here in 2023 on the Carnival Liberty. So I think before we start talking about the bad and the ugly, we should kind of just jump into how the process ultimately worked. How did we like getting on the ship? Do you want to take over at all?
Sure, I can talk about getting on the ship. So when we first got to the port, didn't look like it was overly busy when we were parking. I think the parking was good, the port there is nice. When we got to the actual building though, that's where it looked like it was gonna be a little bit of a wait. It actually didn't take that long. I feel like it was pretty smooth.
Me too.
If we had gotten there a little bit later, maybe more people would have boarded. That could have been the case when we went on the Virgin Voyages because we didn't go until much later.
Remember the one thing, I don't think we said this on camera, but we got our boarding time for what, 12 to 12:30?
Yes.
But we kind of were like with the other people who were boarding after, and we kind of got to pass through.
Oh, yes.
Which was nice. They said, oh, you guys are here earlier, so they let our group in before us, and to the left of us was the earlier arriving group, and they let them to security before us. The process was seamless. It really was, unless you guys were there like on time. We were a little bit late, but it worked towards our advantage in a way because we didn't wait long at all.
They obviously tell you to arrive at your boarding time because they want you to be there in time to help with the smooth process. Make sure you have your boarding pass printed. I don't know what it would have been like if we hadn't printed
Someone commented that they actually can print them out there.
Oh, okay.
So if you did that, you can do that. But we ultimately were saying this too, that if you wanted to take advantage of the system, you could have an earlier boarding group and then just show up when you have to show up, and you technically can skip more of the line. That's what we thought we could do, but we're obviously not going to do it.
I don't think it would really be that much of an advantage though.
Not much, but it's a little workaround if you show up a little bit later to skip majority of the line. Getting on the ship, great. Really wasn't bad at all. I love their port. It's still themed out to the Carnival Mardi Gras, which I love the most. Which if you guys can do that over this ship, obviously it's 2022. You can't beat that versus 2007. So our first impressions of the ship, I was really authentic in trying not to just be like, oh, I hate this ship, because it is older. It's an old ship.
Yes, you can definitely see it just from walking around, you can tell, especially if you've been on other newer cruises, you can for sure see that this is an older ship.
Yeah.
That has had some renovations, but still a lot that hasn't been renovated.
I thought getting on the ship was great.
Yeah.
It seemed basically kind of like, I mean, we can't beat what we had the other day for the Virgin Voyages. We just literally walked on. There was no line, nobody. This was like a sold out cruise.
Like that was a fluke. I don't know if that's always the way it is.
I thought it was good. It was good, impressive, and yeah.
And you enter into the atrium area, which is very nice.
Very nice.
Typically you do enter into the atrium area, so I do like that. I like that they've kept that.
I did like it.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to talk about that before we talk about the good and the bad. I've got some bad things down here first. We'll jump into some of the bad things. First thing I have down, which is kind of to be expected on this class of a ship, the entertainment, in my opinion, sucked. No making that better.
The performers I thought were talented. I just don't think they were put into the right sort of production.
She's way better at speaking politely than I am when it comes to reviews.
They were very talented, but I was telling Kyle that every time I've been on a cruise, I'm usually wowed by the performances, by the shows themselves, because I've seen Mamma Mia on the Oasis, Royal Caribbean. I've seen, I don't even know. You've
been on a lot of Carnival too.
Yes,
but yeah,
I have.
We're used to better shows, is all we're saying. If you want to go and see a rock concert, you can. It was entertaining to happen, something we're not used to seeing.
Yes.
So that was something I was like, okay. Obviously, people come on Carnival to party. We get it.
Yes.
But Carnival, this ship is meant for families, spring breakers, and reunions. But obviously, when you think of Carnival, you think about pretty much having a lot of adult beverages, which we didn't get the beverage package. I think we only had like 9 drinks.
Probably, and that was perfect. I'm happy we didn't buy the drink package because I don't think it would have been
$46 a day per person.
Plus
so do the
taxes, and gratuities and all of that. So
92 times 3. That's what we.
I don't feel like the drinks are overly expensive. They're definitely cheaper than Disney drinks.
$7, and then you got like the $9.
I think the most expensive one we had was like 14-ish, around there.
And since we're kind of talking about beverages, the crew. My goodness, we loved the crew. They were so fun. They were so fun. I like remember we were at Deal or No Deal. Deal or No Deal, guys, skip that. You don't need to go that.
I thought it was fun.
I mean,
maybe it was just the person that went up.
Deal or No Deal or bingo. She was terrible. Deal or No Deal or bingo. Pick bingo. But
we didn't do bingo, so how can you say that?
Because it's bingo.
I'm kidding. No, I do think bingo would have been the better option. We were just really hungry.
Do you remember the guy? Russell?
Russell.
I've never seen crew make fun of each other so much, and they called him Russell after Up. It was so funny.
Yes.
Anyways, moving on. The smell of the ship was the absolute worst thing at times. Coming back, I would say a lot of times oh, here comes the smelly area. I'm like, oh, there it is. Yeah. Sometimes it happened, most of not, it did.
But for some reason, the smell was seeping into our room. I know we had a balcony, but yesterday, it was last night.
Last night was the worst.
Last night was the worst night. I got kind of seasick.
Yeah.
So there was that. And then the smell was terrible.
It was really bad.
We hadn't even opened our balcony in
really bad.
hours. I don't know what was happening, but
it smelled like a porta potty. Not that bad, but you open the door.
At times, yes.
It was not good.
It was not good.
It was not good.
I don't know why. Maybe it was just our cruise. Maybe they were doing some maintenance. I don't know, but it was not great.
Yeah, not fun. But you know what was good? Mongolian.
Oh my goodness. See, he needs to listen to me more.
I usually don't like that kind of food, but I do like stir fry. It's more like the Asian stuff I don't really like that much.
But this is...
Like soup.
Yes. I love Asian food.
Oh, the best thing on that ship. Is that more on other Carnival ships?
Yes.
Because I don't know if that was on the Carnival Mardi Gras, because I was on the Carnival Mardi Gras before.
Might not have been. I have been on, I think this was my 5th Carnival cruise, and I think this was only the 2nd ship that had it. I remember one of the newer ships I had gone on had this for the first time, so maybe they're just, every time they renovate, adding this as an option. It is by far the best. I would personally book a Carnival cruise and look up if it had Mongolian or not before I made my decision.
So good. So good. Off topic here real quick. Comment down below if maybe we should do a podcast. I've always thought about doing it, but I would need a different room. This is in the future. I always wanted to do a podcast. It's just, it adds to the work that I already do daily, but I feel like it's just, it's fun because it kind of gives me podcast vibes.
Yeah.
Just unofficially.
It'd be fun.
We're going to stay in kind of our room. Our room, obviously out to date. The bathroom looked like it was
a hospital bathroom. As soon as I walked in that bathroom, that was just the vibes I was getting.
Yeah. And let me tell you, this is the worst I've ever slept on sea. The bed itself was not good. I just felt like I didn't get a full night's sleep. I was always waking up. I would say my back is numb. I have back problems. I have, a lot of issues, you guys know, with my diseases and stuff. It wasn't the best bed. I thought it was gonna be good, but for me personally, it wasn't good.
I slept well the first 2 nights, I think I slept sort of well. But I did when we were talking the next morning, I was like, last night I could hear people running in the hallways.
Yeah.
That was the big thing. I don't think for me the bed was fine. The pillows, I loved the pillows. I don't think you loved them, but I did.
They were just okay. That was another bad part. A lot of you guys were saying bring a white noise machine. I have an app on my phone where it's a fan, but I've been looking into a white noise machine. But I feel like
I don't think that would have helped.
A lot of people were really inconsiderate in the hallways. I'm talking at 2 a.m. Again, it could be the crowd thing, the Carnival crowd thing. I've had it on Royal, but People were banging on doors, like trying to get in the room. Like, what is going on?
Yes, last night we were. I think we had gone to bed at like 12:30, and this must have been a few hours later. Somebody must have been trying to get into their room, and someone fell asleep, and they were just banging and banging for like 15, 20 minutes.
The worst I've ever felt a ship rock back and forth have been ironically both on Carnival. Carnival Mardi Gras, the massive ship, and this one was so bad. I feel like at night, I like had to have my legs like to the edge of the bed because otherwise I was gonna fall off. It was crazy. The sea was wild.
And I know that doesn't necessarily have to do with the ship itself. It's the waves. Last night was kind of miserable. I was trying to fight it.
Yeah.
It was rough. It was rough.
Something else that was rough was the internet. You can't load. I don't think the internet's worth it. You can't load YouTube. You can't load Instagram. You can a little bit, but it's gonna stutter. No videos work. TikTok, YouTube. It's not gonna work. It took me about like 12 hours to upload my videos on the ship, and that's when I'm like, okay, it's not the greatest. So if you don't need Wi-Fi, don't purchase it. Save the money, because I think it was
a lot, right?
$16, $20 a day per device, something like that.
Yes, and for Wi-Fi
premium
that doesn't
Wi-Fi
work well, that is a rip-off in my opinion.
It wasn't great.
Text messages worked, but do you get free text on?
Not C, but
no,
like
not this one.
Or
not
AT&T,
Carnival.
It's like Bahamas and stuff.
Same with T-Mobile, but yes. I don't know if the text was because of our cell phone plans or if it was because of the Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
You think it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wi-Fi. I feel like we've been talking about a lot of negative things. Let's do a reverse course. The Diamond Steakhouse.
Oh my
$48
goodness.
per person for an upcharge. We didn't get to get the chef's table, which we heard was better, but the Diamond Steakhouse was very good.
It was incredible.
And we were there on a very low crowd day.
Which was awesome.
There was like nobody there. We're just dining and fanciness by ourselves. Yes. Phenomenal. We have a whole video on that. We'll leave that down below, but that is probably a must-do on this ship. Speaking of the other food, the main dining hall we thought was good as well. Yes. Besides that quesadilla, that was terrible.
Yeah, I think that was the only thing that you got that wasn't
great. Everything else was good.
I liked everything I got. Chocolate melting cake is a must-do or must-have on Carnival cruises. That was good.
Let's keep talking about the food. So we had the main dining hall, the buffet. We tried the last night for the dinner.
Skip it. Go to the dining room. Not
good. If you're hungry at night, just grab. That's open until I believe 9:30. The app is great. Their app, I love their app. Perfectly laid out. Yeah. Perfectly laid out. We didn't get to try the deli, unfortunately.
No, the line was very long for the deli, so it must have been really good.
It looked good.
That is another thing on this cruise. The buffets and all of the other food that you can get there, all the lines were insane. So if you're really hungry, just be prepared. You might get a little hangry because those lines took at least 15 to 30 minutes.
Like this.
No, there's no like quick grab and goes because even the buffet that you think would be a grab and go is not.
Guys Burgers was a long line. Those were just okay. I didn't feel like wowed over them. Versus Carnival Mardi Gras, those were butter. It was great. The Blue Iguana, that was good.
Mongolian though.
Mongolian takes the cake.
Clearly we know what we like.
The pizza was also really good. I think the second thing of pizza I got had blue cheese on it. I went to yak. It was terrible.
You don't know what you're gonna get for pizza. They will make a bunch and then they'll just cut slices and leave them out on a buffet sort of thing.
But there's
so you
a
don't
line.
really know what you're gonna get. There is a menu that tells you all the different kinds of pizzas that they will make. It's kind of just a gamble.
It seemed like every 5 minutes, and like I remember the second time I went there, the guy in front of me took like 6 slices and they only left me with that. Yes. So
there was only one person working there. I felt really bad for him because he was hustling. I feel like that's the case with a lot of the food. The people at making the burgers, there were 3, but there were also essentially 2 or 3 different lines. So it's almost like they're manning their own station with very long lines.
I'm trying to think, is there any other food that we're missing? Room service, I had the wings, they were good. Had that off camera, the fries were amazing.
I wish I could have eaten them, but I was nauseous.
Yeah, I had that last night. We had a pretzel at the sports bar, was pretty good.
That was good,
We had cookies at the upcharge at the coffee bar, that was good.
Amazing cookies.
That's about it for the food.
I think that's it, but we hit up pretty much every food option besides the deli. And then, they also have an upcharge of sushi. And that's in the dining area, the dining room where the buffet is. So they have the deli there. The sushi is, I think, on the other side of where the deli is. And then there's a seafood shack that's also upcharged. We did not try any of that.
Yeah. All right. The comedy show. Oh my gosh. Go to the comedy show. So funny. You were a little bit skeptical. You're like, I just sometimes go to comedy shows and just laugh to laugh.
Well,
but you were laughing.
Very explicit comedy, which is not usually what I enjoy.
We went to the 18 plus. I feel like that's like the better comedy versus like family friendly.
But obviously if you have kids, do not take them. They won't even let you into those shows. It is 18 plus and they have crew members at the entrance checking your card to make sure you're old enough.
Right. Tons of fun. The vibe of the ship was fun. I mean, the whole motto of Carnival is fun.
Yes.
Fun. Hello, family. Hello, fun family. You guys having fun? We did. We didn't partake in a lot of the partying and a lot of the clubs. We weren't ever up that late. We're not really partiers. We just, like to have 1 to 2, 3 drinks, 4 drinks, and then call it a day.
We do enjoy drinking, just on our own chill vibe. We like to be excluded. Yes. Speaking of being excluded, the adult section, Serenity. Oh, yes. That was super nice on our ship for a packed ship. It seemed like nobody was taking advantage of it. And I liked it because there wasn't really anybody. And I like to be in places where it's and they had these cabana chairs, which were really nice. And he even asked like, oh, is that something we have to pay extra for? Because they were so nice. Yeah. But they were all included in that area. And there's also a separate bar. Yep. In the Serenity area. It
looked nice. The gym looked nice. The spa looked nice. Yes. Again, I'll leave actually probably all the videos down below if you guys haven't seen it. But it was a really good vibe of the ship overall. Everyone was so fun. Everyone was. Yeah,
and everybody. I loved the photographers.
Oh yeah, we took pictures.
On the ship too. I used to love taking pictures with my family at all those backdrops. I mean, we rarely would buy the photos, but
we bought one.
We bought one. My apartment, we have a funny wall of cruise photos. And this one that we bought is going to make the wall.
Did we show them? You can get it if you want.
Let me go grab it.
There it is. Yeah, pretty great, right? Ooh, this is a good one. The breakfast food was a miss.
Which is disappointing.
I didn't like it that much. It did the trick, I had little bits and pieces of stuff. The yogurt was really good. I love the yogurt. But I feel like the breakfast was a miss. We didn't even get breakfast getting off the ship. No. I'm not waking up for that breakfast and waiting in line. I didn't want to do that.
Especially after the lack of sleep we had last night. It was not...
So loud.
I was not really wanting to wake up any earlier to go get breakfast. Because we did have to be off the ship by about 8:30 this morning. So that was...
I feel like...
pretty standard though.
You did a pretty good job picking apart the ship here. I guess one of the good questions is this a good starter cruise ship depending on what your guys' needs are? I feel like if you get a certain price, it is, but I'm a little bit worried if you experience a rough sea like we did because we were having a little troubles with how bad we felt the motion. I feel like as a ship overall, it's not a bad ship. It's really not.
It is, I would say it's a really good starter ship. Because in my opinion, I would rather start on a lower class ship and then work up so that every time you go on another cruise, there's always more than the last one.
Just make sure you go to Mongolian. That is a must.
Make sure you do your research and get Mongolian before you book a Carnival cruise.
Now for us personally, we think this was a one and done.
Yes.
One and done for us personally. Just, I like to experience different cruises, get my feedback and keep on going on different ones. But we think this is a one and done definitely for us.
Especially for the price.
Yeah, it was a little bit more expensive.
We paid for this one.
But we're not done with Carnival. Heck no.
No, I love Carnival.
We're not done with Carnival. I gotta get that gold status.
I'm already there.
As far as getting off of the ship, it was very smooth. So if you have all your luggage together, they call it the express. You can go all the way to the front. You just gotta listen. That started at 7:30. So that's when I was like, Casey, let's go. And they called it by your muster station. Yes. It bottlenecked like usual. There was more people than I actually thought there was gonna be for express. Yeah. I thought more people were gonna use this service. But this next thing is very important because we simply just walked off. If you don't have a passport, you are screwed.
Yes, there was a huge line, miles long it seemed, for passengers trying to get off using a birth certificate, not their passport, because the passport, at that port, they do the facial recognition. So 2 seconds.
We love Carnival for that.
We were talking to someone at the port and she was like, this is why you have to get a passport.
And guess how many people were checking birth certificates? 3.
Yes.
3 people. There was a line of like 500 people.
It felt like the whole ship was in that line,
When
honestly.
we get off, the line started and we walked forever.
It felt like we were doing something wrong because the line was so long and we just got
so
to
long.
skip. We seriously did not wait.
Yeah.
It took us probably like 5-6 minutes to walk past everybody.
Get your passport. It's $100. It's $100.
Worth it.
I feel like if this is your first cruise, you're gonna want it for the disembarkation.
Yes, if you're able to get a passport, do it.
Now this is a tip for driving home, or even coming to the port. Coming from Orlando to Port Canaveral, there's a lot of accidents. This is the second time I've seen, probably like the 4th time, but the second time on my past 3 cruises, there was a huge accident, unfortunately, coming on the way in, and there was an accident going on the way out. So traffic is also a hit or miss, but just be really weary of that.
Yes, it's only 2 lanes, and there was a huge accident on the other side,
Huge.
like you said, going to the cruise port.
They shut their freeway down.
Yes, and we saw a little bit further down that they were starting to reroute people, but
Yeah.
it was bad.
bad.
And that is not uncommon, unfortunately.
So drive safe, because that road, there's always accidents. Always. It's actually insane. I mean, people go like 80 to 90 on that road.
Crazy. We saw a lot of crazy drivers.
I hope that was kind of a good perspective of the ship. If you guys were listening, thank you for listening, but we're not done yet. I did post on my Instagram if you guys had any questions on Carnival Liberty, so let's see if there are. Bryson Fletcher 06 has asked, what is there to do on this ship? We were kind of asking that question ourselves. We didn't even cover it. Great question.
Yes.
There's really not much. There's not much activity as we've seen on Royal or Disney. It might seem like a destination type get drunk cruise, ultimately.
I feel like it's more of a cruise where you go to the pool or the hot tub or eat. There were things like trivia, and they were supposed to do like an ice sculpture show and tell animal show, things like that. But other than those little things,
not really much.
There's not much.
A lot of people were in the casino. A lot of people.
And that casino is very nice and very large.
I like that casino. We won.
Nice.
Would you go again? We answered that. Who is your cruise director?
His name was Adrian from South Africa.
Yeah,
he made an
cool.
announcement. He was like, "This is Adrian, your cruise director." He was awesome.
Andrew Freond asked how much it cost and did we get it for free? I never get my cruises for free. Ever. And if I did, I would tell you guys. For someone who has never been on a cruise before, which cruise line would you recommend? I feel like that is an interesting choice. Depends on your budget. A good budget one, MSC. But that's really different. I really like their entertainment shows because it's European style.
Yeah, I've never been on MSC, so
You can get it for like $300.
Wow.
Yeah, it's super cheap.
I think for relaxation, I would say Virgin Voyages.
Really?
I loved Virgin.
Wow. I was gonna say Royal.
Each cruise line, I think, specializes in something.
That's true.
And I think I love Royal. I would always recommend it. I love Disney. Would always recommend it.
Okay, but this was such a different cruise though, this Carnival one, because my Carnival Mardi Gras one, sure it was a party, but everything was amazing on that ship. Like it just, you have to research your ship. This was definitely a fun ship, the Carnival one.
They
I
don't
feel
call it
like
a fun ship for nothing.
Yeah, for real. Like this was a party ship. So if you're not looking to party, I don't know if this ship is for you per se, or gamble, because that's what I feel like a lot of people did.
Every cruise line has something different. It really just depends on what you're going for.
We gotta try Norwegian too.
I would love to try it, yeah. We got a question, how is the supply of wall outlets in the room? It was not great.
Wasn't great, but you know what makes it great?
And we're very thankful that he brought this, because I was actually expecting there to be outlets near the beds. There weren't any, which is very strange to me.
A lot of you guys ask what I bring. This is what I bring on. It's not a surge protector. Tesson on Amazon. Get one that looks just like this and you'll be able to bring it on. It's got a long cord, so
It's an extension cord.
you can bring it and use it for whatever you want. This is a life changer.
Now this is not something I would have room in my bag for typically, so it's nice that he brings it.
I don't know if I have anything else to share. I think that was kind of it.
Yeah.
Our next cruise, mine personally, is gonna be one with my family. I'm not sure if we announced what it is, but it actually is our very first cruise of the family together.
That's so exciting.
We've never been on a cruise ever because we've always gone to Disney. So that's next, and I do have 2 to 3 other ones planned. So yeah, get ready for a lot of cruises. One more this month, and then a couple next month. We're trying to get Casey on one of those ones too. We'll see.
I would love
we'll see
to.
what happens.
Just see with work.
Yeah, please. So with that, that's gonna be it for you guys' daily dose. Thanks for listening. If you guys enjoyed this format, please let us know down below. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Oh, and for the record, we didn't use a single elevator. Not one.
No.
Not one. We did it. We did it. We carried it up day 1 and we carried it down our last day. Super proud I actually did that. Woo!
I was saying that we don't even know what the elevators look like.
Nope.
Nope.
If you know, tell us.